everybody, I am NicoD. Today I'm back with the Choetech USB charger. So this is a 5-port USB charger with 4 ports USB type A and 1 port USB type C for PD. So I've already had this very cheap one. So this one was about 10 euros. It's got 3 USB type A ports and 1 USB type C port. So I'm gonna compare this one with this one. This one should be a lot better. So we will see how well it will do. So I have got a lot of devices over here. For example, these dummy load resistors. I've got a ton of power banks, of course. I've got the RockPi over here and also a display and also the HDMI recorder. So all these devices I will try to plug in and we will see how far we can get. So hopefully this one can do very well. So here we go. So here I have got a voltage meter. I will know how much amps it takes. So first of all, to power up this one, we also need the display. So the display is this one. And for the display to work, we will also need to make the capture device work. So the capture device is this one. So we will put the display and the capture device also in a voltmeter, so we will know how much this takes. So first of all we can put in this one. So this is at 4.5 volts. That is not 4.7 volts, 1.8 amps. Okay, I hope you can see this well. God damn it. So now both the display is on and the capture device is on. So we are at 1.7 amps at 5 volts. So now I can turn on the RockPi. So put it in here, okay. So the RockPi is booting at a bit less than 1 amp, 5 volts. The RockPi can use PD, so if it is necessary it will go higher than 5 volts. Okay, so now the RockPi has booted into Armbian, of course. So this one is on, the HDMI capture device. The display is on and the RockPi is on. So the RockPi is at 1 amp, 5 volts, and the display plus the capture device is at 1.6 amps at 5 volts. So then this one has a voltage meter inside. I will need another cable for that. So until now the cheap one is doing well with all these devices. But none go very high, none go over 2.4 amps, and that is what this is rated for. So only 2.4 for all 3 these ports, and then it's got 3 amps for this one. So now let's see what happens if I also, oh I don't need that, if I also put in this. And it is charging 4.5 volts, so the voltage is going down 4.7 volts, 1.5 amps. So 1.5 amps plus again here 1.6 amps, another power bank with another voltage meter. So now we are at, can check it, 1.5 over here and 1.5 over here. So we are at 3 amps actually. So I think it will crash with this. I can't fit it. Okay. Still on. 1.4 here, 1.6 here. 1.6 here, so it is doing a lot better than I expected. So it's got 1 amp over here but this is separate. It has got 1.5 amps over here at 5 volts. Another power bank with a bad cable. Let's put this here, and it's still stable everywhere. 1.1 amps, but 1.1, 1.7, 2 amps. So now one last test. So now let's do a benchmark on the computer and see if nothing happens. So it goes up to 2 amps over here. Here the voltage drops down to 4.3 volts. Also here 4.7 volts. 4.5 volts. 4.6 volts. So it is still coping. So 2 amps over here, 2 amps over here, 2 amps over here. So that's 6 amps plus 1 amp is 7 amps in total. But you see it isn't doing well. 4.2 volts, 4.3 volts. So the voltage is going down right now. So this means there is no security in this one. And we are back at 4.8, 4.9 volts, 4.9 volts. So we are at the limit of what this one can do. So that is about 6 amps in total. But this one does not have a security. It should have turned off. It didn't. So this one is not very safe. So now the Choetech one. I'm very curious. So let's start again with the display. So the display again and the capture device we will put in over here. Okay. So display is turning on. So 1.7 amps. Okay, that's good. Now the computer. So everybody, my camera fell out, so I had to restart it, and I'm charging it with my power bank over here. So that one is out of the picture. So I have got my RockPi booted, I've got my HDMI capture device, and I've got my display, all three. So the RockPi is here at 20 volts. I can turn around the thing with the button. Yes. So I hope you can see. So the RockPi is running at 20 volts with this charger. So this charger can give up to 20 volts. And it is written over here. Oh, it only says 15 volts, but it's still 20 volts. So here it is written, this one can only do up to 15 volts, but it is doing 20 volts. So there is something not correct over here with the notation, but it is of course better that you can go even higher. But they should have noted here that it can go up to 20 volts. So that's no problem. So the display and the capture device again are at 1.5 amps. Now this power bank. Okay, let's plug this in. There's one over here left. So that power bank is now charging at a bit more than 1 amp. So there is 1.5 over here, so that's 2.5 amps over here. It should be able to go a lot higher, so I'm gonna put in one of these to make this go to 1 amp. So let's see with my bad eyes. Let's put in this one. That brings it up to 2 amps. So 1 amp for this one, 1 amp for this one. Let's try to bring it to 3 amps. 3.3 amps. Okay, it is doing it. So I've got 3 amps over here. 1.5. So that's 4. So 3.2 over here. So 4.7 amps. Am I pulling out of this already? 4.7 amps. That's quite a lot. So the last thing I can try is with this one. So let's also put it to 2 amps. Okay. So 3.2, 1, 4.7, 4.8 plus 3 amps plus 2 amps over here, and the display turns off. No, can't do it. 1 amp over here. Now the computer has to start up again. So we have seen the limit. It shut itself down. That is very good. That makes sure that there will not burn anything in your house. So don't think because this one does a little worse than the other that it is worse. This is protection for fire. So now I'm putting 6 amps through it. It is all very stable at 5 volts, so that is very good. This one is at 20 volts, so that's good. So it is all good at 6 amps. If I turn this one on to 2, then we are at 8 amps. Then it fails. So that is good. That is actually the behavior we have to see. So we have seen what the difference is between both. Well, the LED is still on. It is still dissipating all the energy that was in it. So they both actually perform quite equal. So I was really surprised by this one. I thought it would shut down with more than 3 amps, but it didn't. This one clearly isn't PD, so it was only at 5 volts. But the problem with this one is it doesn't shut down at all. So there is no shutdown mechanism. If there is a short, it will burn down your house. So this one is very dangerous, but the voltage went down a lot. So that means it couldn't handle it anymore. But it should have shut itself down because even 6 amps could be a short for something small. So this is really dangerous to have in your house. This one did the job. It could power a lot of things. I put too much through it. I put more through it than it should be able to do, and it shut itself down. So that is very good. So it is good. It has got PD, so the PD went up to 20 volts. It is noted over here only up to 15 volts. That is something that's not fully correct, but it is of course better to have one that can go up to 20 volts than instead only to go to 5 volts and that's it. So I am very happy with this. This is a safe device. I can recommend to use this one. I cannot recommend to use this one. This one comes from the Action. That's the cheapest shop in Belgium. That's the AliExpress from Belgium. And I cannot recommend this because this actually is dangerous. I used to use this one. Now it goes down the dustbin. So that's it for today. I hope you liked my video. Thank you all for watching. See you all later. Bye.